Hello everyone, and happy Canada Day. No matter where you are, July 1st is an opportunity for us all to celebrate the country we call home, the people we share it with, and the future we're building together. We can, and we should, take pride in all those things. After all, Canada is the envy of the world.
Here sitting near the other side, please look to the back in the direction of the photographers in front of the flag.
Canada is the envy of the world.
Hello, my fellow brethren. Today, I'd like to address the clown in the room. This man is the current ruler of Canada, if you can believe, and somehow has been for the past 8 years now. Canada, you just re-elected this guy 2 years ago and he's really not doing you guys any favors. This drama teacher, yes, drama teacher, to running the nation has been demonstrating nothing short of clown-like tendencies over his tenure in office, and not just Canadians can see it. From everything to using taxpayers' money for private vacations, sounds like somebody I know, to whatever the fuck this abomination is, guy really is a tool, and to really address everything he's done to fuck Canada will take way too long to shove into a video for YouTube, so here are the footnotes and you can thank me later. So, let's see if I can tear an even bigger asshole to the most hated man in Canada, and potentially the world. Only a week ago from the time of recording this video, Fidel Castro Jr., Justin Trudeau, you can't even lie that the similarities are very uncanny, from the obvious appearance to having your own and neighboring nations resent you.
You're a criminal. You're the reason why my kids can't get a fucking apartment, nothing. You're a piece of shit criminal. You're a fucking criminal.
Anyways, back at the ranch, September 22nd, 2023 will go down as Justin's biggest circus act in all of history. Yes, bigger than this shit if you can believe it, and you're gonna see why very shortly. Justin and everyone present in Parliament took time out of their days to listen to a speech by Anthony Rota, this guy who's the Speaker from House of Commons, which is inside Parliament, honoring this old fart named Yaroslav Hunka.
His name is Yaroslav Hunka. He's a Ukrainian hero, a Canadian hero, and we thank him for all his service. Thank you.
Not a big deal, right? What if I told you this old bastard was a known Nazi who was part of the Waffen-SS, a combat branch formed by Hitler that partook in heinous war crimes against innocent kids and adults alike during World War II? Well, that's a little embarrassing. I guess everybody left their clown shoes at home today. Really would have fit the picture also more perfect. Don't you think, J-Dog? Yes, this really happened, and Canada is now a laughingstock because they honor Nazis. Rumor has it Trudeau has a framed photo of Adolf in every one of his $1 million cottages. Unsurprisingly, the clown giving the speech resigned shortly after. And we have Trudeau apologizing for Canada, stating, and I quote, "Canada is deeply sorry."
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven.
You stupid fuck. How can you apologize on behalf of Canada and its citizens when it's the Speaker's fault and the committee that oversees those in the gallery? Oh no. No. Not just any bum from the street can pop their head in. People are personally invited and background checked. And the Speaker that resigned should have taken Justin with him. Done the world a favor. After all, it's said that Justin also had access to the list of those invited and would have been one of the only few that could have known about this man's dark past. But for everyone to applaud this guy given he's a known Nazi is priceless, even if some were oblivious. Or pretending to be. Shit. Like this is the reason Canada is becoming more of a joke every year, because this clown is running a literal circus. God help you Canadian citizens. I feel for you. My heart goes out to you. So, back around the time COVID began to hit in Canada, people were losing their jobs left, right, and center, and everything was shutting down. The government issued basically, stay at home, don't let me see you outside unless you're starving. Which I guess made sense at the time, given the obvious chaotic circumstances. During this period, Justin came up with the bright idea, hey, I know I'm keeping you guys at home without work, and you're probably hurting for money. Let me help. And from that, CERB was created. CERB, which is short for Canadian Emergency Response Benefit. Great idea. Totaling over 77 billion Canadian dollars just for individuals, not including benefits for small businesses, which got paid more, I believe.
I'm only burning my half.
This money totaled $2,000 a month for Canadians that qualified. What was a shock to a lot of people was that after 2021, the government was sending out mail to unsuspecting Canadians, forcing them to pay back the fucking money. What? You guys thought Daddy Trudeau put that money aside for you?
Gotcha, bitch!
Shit was on lease, and the sad part is eligible people were receiving this mail as well and had to appeal the request, such as this poor Toronto actor I've never heard of.
Aylan Damour of Toronto worked as a contractor most of his life until he had to stop for health reasons. He decided to become an actor in 2018 and was working on several projects when not long after, COVID-19 almost shut down his industry. He applied for government assistance.
It was very helpful. I was able to keep my apartment, I was able to keep my stuff, pay my bills, even if I was late on a couple of it, but at least it was just enough to survive.
Damour received funds from CERB and the Canada Recovery Benefit, but recently he got a letter from Revenue Canada that said, "We reviewed your COVID-19 benefits. You need to pay back $23,700.
I think it's pretty crazy when I know that everybody around me got like, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 to reimburse, not 24. That's a big chunk.
I literally pulled this page up from the official government of Canada's website, and in it states the eligibility requirements for CERB. I'll quickly read them out for people who don't like to read for whatever reason.
Read the words.
Hear me, noble sisters.
If you're residing in Canada, who are at least 15 years old, check. Who stopped working because of reasons related to COVID-19 or were eligible for employment insurance regular or sickness benefits or have exhausted their employment insurance regular benefits or employment insurance fishing benefits between December 29, 2019 and October 3rd, 2020. Check. Who had employment and or self-employment income of at least $5,000 in 2019 or in the 12 months prior to the date of their application. Well, we know he doesn't make over $23,000 a year at least. Who did not quit their job voluntarily, easily backed up considering the whole film industry was shut down during this time. Poor guy was 100% eligible. Sorry champ, but Justin needs to book his reservations for his 10-star hotel in Washington for his other boy any day now. It's funny because this guy is literally calling the government out as they never specified CERB was a loan for eligible people. The film industry during this time was really bad, and I know because I have friends in the acting union in Toronto. They were not allowed working at all because of these bullshit restrictions placed on them by the government. And so they relied on CERB to save their fucking lives. And luckily, none of them have had to pay back CERB, from what I know anyway. But this poor guy does? And it's the whole fucking amount? Canada literally scalping their own people. Classic Justin, you fucking bum. And yes, 100% there are people that were ineligible and were scamming the government, and they should have to pay it back, no question. But in this case, we have a citizen that firmly qualifies given the requirements laid out by the clown and his crew of charlatans. It's sad to think, but this is only one guy out of millions more getting bent over for everything they're worth and don't deserve it. Oh, Canada, the true are poor and the north is cold. Essentially, Canada has a major real estate crisis. Houses are quintuple the price, and interest rates are at record highs since Trudeau decided to give money away during COVID and to support the Ukraine war, which sounds like the right thing to do being a stereotypical Canadian.
This kind of behavior is not Canadian. We are a polite people who keep our true feelings bottled up. If we must express ourselves, we do it with silent resentment, glowering looks, and suppressed rage, all the while maintaining a delicate balance of denial and shame.
But when it's severely negatively impacting your people, and they're letting you know it...
You've been very public in your disdain for the Prime Minister now, Prime Minister Trudeau, that he's doing a horrible job, that he's making things worse. You still subscribe to that, I guess, right?
He is one of the most successful politicians in history. He's been in that seat forever. He has zero executional skills. He is a horrible manager. He perhaps is the worst manager Canada's ever been under. The absolute worst. It can't get worse. Absolutely a -10.
I'm sorry, how do you feel about Trudeau? All right, oh, you just answered that.
It's time to pull your head out of your own ass and work on what holds higher precedence. You'd think, right? Because of this, there's a statistic that 63% of Canadians have given up on ever owning a house because it's not possible in their economy. Anyway, here's the clip, and I hope you do laugh as hard as I did watching this.
We need real change in affordable housing. The federal government is not only back in housing, but we're here to stay. We're moving forward with a national housing strategy. We made housing a priority. The federal government does have a role to play in housing. I'll be blunt as well. Housing isn't a primary federal responsibility.
Literally contradicting himself. And this edit was made by Pierre Poilievre's Instagram. Pierre is the leader of the official opposition of Canada and is running for Prime Minister right now. And honestly, I hope he gets it, for Canada's sake. Now something actually funny in case you haven't laughed yet. I have here a clip of Trudeau at the annual G20 summit this year. For those of you who do not know, the Group of 20, G20, is the premier forum for international economic cooperation. It plays a very important role in shaping and strengthening global architecture and governance on all major international economic issues. Now, let's see how well it plays out for ya boy, Justin. Okay, I'm just gonna sit down here. Oh, hey. Cameras, where are the cameras? Oh, cameras there? Okay. Brazil on my left, China on my right. Okay, let's not let this go down like last time. Hey, China want to be my friend? No. Brazil, my man. Oh, fuck! I wouldn't want to shake my own hand either. Yeah, well, this is a little awkward. It's okay though. Hey, my man. Hey, Bridget, you didn't forget about me, did you? This clip is just so plain pathetic. It demonstrates how people in power don't even want anything to do with him. As soon as this bump sat down, neither leaders of China or Brazil even acknowledged Justin's very existence. The president of Brazil blatantly ignored Trudeau's handshake and opted for someone else's, even when Justin stretched his hand out first. You know what Justin's like? Justin's like that one kid in school that's got some bad BO. Like he shits himself every day and everyone avoids him like the plague, because if they make eye contact, poor Justin will think they want to be associated with him. Hence, as he sat down, both China and Brazil's president didn't even look at him, because they already know. Justin's a sad piece of shit that nobody wants nada to do with.
Oh, please, just stay down.
Now, there was at least 3 more topics I wanted to talk about before ending this video, but I figured I'd be doing you, the viewer, and our boy J-Dog a disservice if I did not at least try to mention 10, since he has accomplished many achievements over the years, crowning him in a league of clown of his own. So, I'm going to try to get a few quick mentions in before I end the video. Please do bear with me. Oh dear God. Publicly admonished a woman in Edmonton for saying the word mankind instead of peoplekind. Veterans asking for too much. The budget will balance itself. The 2016/2017 budget deficit was $17.8 billion. Canada has no core identity. Obsession with Indian wedding clothes / Bollywood dancing. Invites Jaspal Atwal, a Sikh extremist who served 5 years in a Canadian jail for his role in the attempted murder of a visiting Indian cabinet minister, Malkit Singh Sindhu. I think I said that right. Can't get a trade deal done with anyone. Can't get a pipeline done in any direction. Says that a proposed pipeline must consider, and I quote, the intersection of sex and gender with other identity factors. What does that even mean? Creepy sock fetish. More selfies than a class of teenage girls. Replaces Canada's old F-18s with Australians' old F-18s. Waves to an empty tarmac when boarding the government plane. Thinks Canadians should thank Muslim refugees for moving to Canada. His love of all things Castro and all things Red China. Says he speaks for all Canadians about the remembrance of a Cuban dictator. Imposes tough regulations and taxes on oil from Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Newfoundland, but not on oil from Saudi Arabia. Every new project has to undergo strict environmental assessments, except cement plants in Quebec. Chases foreign companies and their investment capital out of the country like they have the plague. Chases World War I soldiers out of the national anthem, lest we forget. Brings in tens of thousands of unemployable, quote-unquote, refugees. Tweets out a welcome to tens of thousands more fake refugees from the US, even gets the RCMP to be their bellhops. All his fake refugees get better health care than Canadians do, while they put on a strain on all our public services and contribute little. Continuously uses identity politics, then complains about identity politics. Pays $10.5 million to a convicted terrorist who murdered an unarmed army medic. Pays another $31 million to 3 more Muslims from Syria. Forgot Alberta was a province. Has called small business owners quote-unquote tax cheats, while he sucks at the teeth of a family trust fund, taxes cow farts, $8 million for a skating rink, $4.5 billion for a 65-year-old pipeline, illegal immigrants are just quote-unquote irregular border crossers, gets India to invest $250 million in Canada, but Canada has to invest $750 million in India first, compared returning ISIS terrorists to Italian immigrants and says they will be an extraordinary powerful voice for Canada. Terrorists deserve to keep their Canadian citizenship, thinks Canada is 100 years old instead of 150, generally makes life less affordable for the average Canadian, gave Canadian taxpayer money to the Clinton Foundation, gave Canadian taxpayers money to Hamas, confuses China for Japan and forgot about Canada fighting a war against them, increasing the number of personal pronouns to 50, the only prime minister convicted of ethics violations, outrage over fake racist attacks, says nothing about real terrorist attacks, takes a personal day for every pair of sock he owns, sits like he has no balls, which is true, broken promises on electoral reform, screwed up on a new Holocaust memorial in Ottawa. It turns out they forgot to mention the Jews on a plaque about the Holocaust. Publicly admonished a woman in Edmonton for saying the word mankind instead of peoplekind. Veterans asking for too much. The budget will balance itself. The 2016/2017 budget deficit was $17.8 billion. Canada has no... It never fucking ends with this guy, unlike this video. So ending on the only note I believe is fitting considering the circumstances. Thank you so very much for watching my video, and bomba clat, your son's coffee.